You are welcome to Jerry Royal Channel. This is a component of the assets inherited by King Charles II after his mother's demise. Please check my previous videos to see part 1. Princess Anne's London home, St. James Palace, is worth an estimated $700 million. Alongside its history, it became significantly the house of Elizabeth I during the defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1558. The palace has an enviable postcode in the coronary heart of Westminster in the British capital. St. James Palace has won ever-developing popularity in recent decades because it was where representatives from 14 nations met to set up the United Nations. However, most recently, it became the setting of the rite in which King Charles III was officially proclaimed Britain's new sovereign on September 9, 2022. Lancaster Castle, also called John o' Gaunt's Castle, is defined as an historic inheritance that commenced 750 years ago in 1265. The property, which is worth $674, has had a diverse history, having served as a Roman fort, a medieval location for punishment, and a prison. It became, however, transformed into a visitor enchantment in 2011. The citadel overlooks the northern city of Lancaster and the River Lune, in which it has famously stood as a bastion against the marauding forces of the historical Picts and Scots tribes for centuries. The Prince and Princess of Wales' historic family home, Kensington Palace, has an predicted worth of $630 million, while William and Catherine are expected to move into Windsor Castle, and that they have these days set roots in Adelaide Cottage in Berkshire. The couple and their own circle of relatives are best associated with the palace that houses Apartment 1A, their London base. King Charles III additionally lived in the palace in Chelsea, London, with Diana, Princess of Wales. During their marriage, Lady Diana continued to stay in the house till her demise in 1997, and she is remembered through a statue in the gardens. Carnarvon Castle is the best property outside of England to make the top 10, located in Gwynedd, Wales. The envisioned $289 million assets has towered above the port city since King Edward I ordered its production in 1283. This UNESCO World Heritage Site, which sits at the banks of the River Seant, was where Charles was given the title of the Prince of Wales in 1969. However, it is anticipated will only be a matter of time before he visits the country's most well-known citadel. As king, back in London, the aptly named Banqueting House is the 9th most luxurious structure, worth an anticipated $296 million. This architectural style of banqueting residence was designed as an elaborate interesting area in the Palace of Whitehall, in which monarchs lived between 1530 to 1698. English architect Inigo Jones designed the residence in 1619, and today, it's far the best surviving part of Whitehall Palace, following a big hearth place in 1698. Eltham Palace in Eltham in southeast London is the 10th most luxurious assets in King Charles's assets portfolio, with an anticipated rate of $211 million, though the house is now owned by the Crown. It had a period owned by Stephen and Virginia Courtauld, who had been looking for a semi-rural assets that became handy for the capital. They took a 99-year rent from the Crown. The couple resided in the Eltham at some stage in most of the Second World War, after they geared up out the basement as a snug bomb shelter. Since then, the Army Educational Corps and English Heritage, the most latest successor to the Ministry of Works, took over the house. Today, visitors can explore the restored 1930s fashion home and research extra while mastering extra approximately Eltham's charming history. Thanks for looking. Please take into account to enroll in my channel for brand new updates at the royal owned circle of